I want to bring in Connecticut Democratic Senator Chris Murphy, member of the Appropriations and Foreign Relations Committees. Senator, you heard Jeff Sessions basically saying that if Democrats don't vote for a budget with or without funding for the wall, the government shutdown would be your fault. I'm 100% sure you've got a response to that.
Well, I mean, let's be clear who doesn't want the wall. It's not just Democrats. It's many Republicans as well. There's a report this weekend that suggests there's not a single member of Congress that represents a district or a state along the border with Mexico that supports the president's request for this wall. There's certainly a conversation to be had about additional staffing, additional border patrols, additional technology. But the representatives who exist on that border know that a wall is a bad idea. And in my state of Connecticut, you know, we have needs for our own infrastructure, rebuilding our roads and our bridges. My constituents aren't going to support taking money from those priorities to fund a wall with Mexico that's more about politics than policy. So this is ultimately on Donald Trump. If the government shuts down, it's because he's made a demand to build this wall that Republicans and Democrats don't want. And ultimately, you have to remember, Republicans control everything right now. They control the White House, the House of Representatives, the Senate. Yes, they have to get a small handful of Democratic votes in order to pass a budget, but you know, there's no responsibility other than with the Republican leadership if they don't get a deal and the government shuts down. Democrats control nothing in Washington right now.
All right, well, is there a scenario where you play ball? You tweeted yesterday, set up for next week is simple. Trump will shut down the government in a fit if he doesn't get one, the wall no one wants, or two, deconstruction of ACA. If the president backs off one or both of these two, do you think a budget can get passed?
Well, I think the budget can get passed if he backs off both of those. Remember, what he's saying now is that he is going to pull funding from the Affordable Care Act, cratering, you know, essentially the entirety of the health care system if he doesn't get money for his wall. That's unacceptable, and no American should be okay with that kind of blackmail. Ultimately, I'm willing to talk about some additional border security. I think that's important, but not this nonsensical wall that he promised, by the way, that he promised Mexico would pay for, not the American taxpayers. And I'm certainly not going to have a gun put to the heads of my constituents to say that if they don't support funding for a wall that Mexico is supposed to pay for, all of their health care is going to be taken away. That's not a deal that anybody in this town should ultimately support.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.